Welcome to Bible Trivia Quiz. We are already to number 2. We've just started these. And what you will find is there will be 25 questions in each of our quizzes, all from the Bible. The answers will follow the question slide. So our goal is hope that you get to know your Bible better so that you can share your faith easier and better. Other things that I would share with you is after I read the question, I will wait about 6 seconds and advance the slide. In this case, you're watching a video. But if you want more time to think about your answer, just pause the video. Where nobody's going anywhere then, and just take your time. So figure about 6 seconds in between. If you freeze it immediately after the question, that's fine. And just see how well that you do. God bless you, and there's some easy questions, and there's some tough stuff. So here we are. Let's get right underway. Number 1, in which book do we read the story about the dreams of Joseph? That would be the book of Genesis, and this is one of the areas in Genesis 37 where it would start. Number 2, what prophet was most contemporary with Haggai, who lived in the same time with him? That would be Zechariah, which we also have another book in our Bible in the Old Testament, a minor prophet. Solomon becomes king is recorded in which book of the Bible? First Kings, right out of the blocks in the first chapter. Number 4, which woman in the Bible is written about using the first cosmetics? That would be Queen Jezebel of the northern kingdom, the most wicked queen in Israel's history in 2 Kings. Who said, quote, "For me to live is Christ, and to die is gain," unquote. And the Bible reference. Can you do both? Well, we probably figured it was the Apostle Paul, and that is found in Philippians 1:21. What did Jesus offer a woman at Jacob's well? He offered her living water or spiritual water, and that's John chapter 4. In the book of Isaiah, what is said to have killed 185,000 men of Sennacherib's army? That was an angel of the Lord in Isaiah 37. What king drove out male shrine prostitutes? King Asa in 1 Kings 15. Number 9, who did Ahijah prophesy would be given 10 tribes from Solomon's kingdom over which he would rule? That would be Jeroboam, 1 Kings 11. Jesus spoke a parable of talents. What did the third servant do with his? Well, he buried it. You can find that in Matthew 25. What is described as tasting like, quote, honey wafers, unquote? Manna in Exodus 16. As the children of Israel wandered in the wilderness, God provided that every morning. Who murdered Ben-Hadad and took his throne? Hazael. And you can find that story in 2 Kings chapter 8. Why did Paul call himself, quote, the least of the apostles, unquote? Because he persecuted Christians in the church before he was saved. 1 Corinthians 15. Who made an iron axe head float? Elisha in 2 Kings. He was the successor of Elijah. Who was called, quote, a generation of vipers, unquote? The Pharisees and the Sadducees in Matthew 3, very early in the ministry of Christ. What book of the Bible is right before the book of Joel? Hosea. To whom and on what occasion was the following written? Quote, thy love to me was wonderful, passing the love of women, unquote. It was to Jonathan just after his death in 2 Samuel 26. What two books in the Bible were written to Theophilus? Luke and Acts by Luke, the doctor. Why did Moses kill an Egyptian and hide in the sand? Moses saw that he was beating one of his people, an Israelite and a Hebrew. Who said, quote, for man looks on the outward appearance, but the Lord looks upon the heart, unquote. God said that, 1 Samuel 16. Who was blinded and did not eat for 3 days? Saul or Paul, the Apostle Paul, in Acts 9. Who wrote the book of the Revelation to blank? It's written to the 7 churches, and that you can find that in Revelation 1:4. What 2 lands in the Bible were described as flowing with milk and honey? Egypt and Canaan, both. Who is the first recorded thief in the Bible? That would be Rachel. She stole her dad's household idols. And our last question. What teaching method did Jesus use by which he fulfilled prophecy from Psalms? And his teaching method was he used parables. We find them all throughout the Gospels, but look at Psalm 78. So, how did you do? How did things go on this trivia quiz for you? So glad that you watched today, and I hope you'll join us on our next quiz.